Closer. That was a knockoff from the original. Songs from Forrest Gump. Oh, okay, all right. That might be copyrighted. Hopefully it's not. It's 6:24 a.m. on Monday, September 22nd. And I'm on vacation, bitches. Well, I'm going to go on record, and I know a lot of my audiences aren't going to like what I'm about to say. Keep in mind, what I'm about to say based on the limited information I have. And I acknowledge my information is limited. Today, later on, I don't know if before or after I'm able to post this, because as you can see I'm driving. Apparently there's some kind of court that will be attended by for public safety and generally specific. Caveat, with the limited knowledge I have, in my opinion, generally specific should regain his rights today, Monday, the 22nd of September 2025 at 56 miles per hour, 57 miles per hour. Let's go on cruise control. All right. Cruising? Okay. Now, on most issues, I agree with for public safety more than I agree with generally specific. On this issue, with the knowledge or limited knowledge I have, I'm rooting for GS. That's not out of hate for public safety. That's out of what I see, what I observe, and how I interpret it. On this issue, Chris is full of shit. Why is Chris so afraid or pretending to be afraid of GS? I get it, Chris. Fraudit Wrangler, who's in jail, sadly not for long enough, but for now, he's in jail. He went after you. And he reached out to what's, in my opinion, some very corrupt government officials in Meade County. Some downright evil people in Meade County, Kentucky. I get that. And as paranoid as for public safety may seem, those people were literally out to get him. And some of them still are. Well, I get it. GS, after acknowledging that Ray Whitehead did wrong, he broke bread with JJ, and JJ, as evil as he is more convincing, more articulate than for public safety. By the way, so is GS. Now, when I say that about J.J. Scarborough, I'm not saying J.J. Scarborough is good. I'm saying when we know nothing except for what people tell us, and J.J. Scarborough tell us something, and for public safety tells us something, they contradict each other, J.J. is more convincing. Now, when you know all the backstories about Fraudit Wrangler and about the people who tried to warn Meade County of who and what Fraudit Wrangler was, and J.J. and Ray doubled down, knowing full well that they were mixing with a criminal. And by the way, if they haven't figured it out then, they have to figure it out now. The criminal is in jail. Sadly, not for killing the Marine he killed, but gladly because he committed other crimes. He's in jail for that. But if you don't know all that, and you just see JJ say, hey, and for public safety say, no. It's WEC. It's WEC, it's not A, it's WEC. Without all that other information, JJ is more convincing. And wow, I'm blurry. Hello. All right. Oh, I love this piece. By the way, I'm on Highway 15 going north. The Beltway is behind me. I'm glad I left as early as I did. I kind of wish I left earlier because, wow, rush hour is starting early these days in the DC area. I don't know this because when I work, I'm working from home. I'm on vacation. So none of that matters. Even getting stuck in some traffic trying to get out of the Beltway. That shit was nasty. Alright, where was I? Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Yeah, with the limited information I have on today's issue, I'm rooting for GS. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Tiffany. I am rooting for them. Granted, there may be information I'm not aware of, and a little fearful. I don't know about good old boy networks in Kentucky. Don't know how things will go with that. But a judge, I believe, from what I've seen, I get it, there's more information than what I can see. But what I'm seeing and hearing, a judge of fairness and intellect and reasoning skills will take a look at the bullshit Chris is bringing to him about GS, and I believe and I hope GS gets his rights back today. GS is not going to do you guys any harm. He's going to talk about you on the internet, but he's not Michael Kaiser. He's not JJ Scarborough. In my opinion, he's fooled by JJ Scarborough, but he's not JJ Scarborough. And no, I don't agree with him a lot of stuff, especially politically, ideologically. But one thing we can tell about GS consistently is he will try to reach across the ideological aisle, whether it's politics or other issues. Yeah, people who think like me disagree with him on how to make a bagel. Whether or not Kamala Harris should be president. Maybe even on some other racial issues too. But when you're not trash talking each other, he will reach across or let you reach across, and he can have a calm conversation. Like me, he's quick to temper, and when you upset him, you will know that you have upset him, but he will try. And I think that's what he did with with JJ. He broke bread with JJ, and JJ is convincing, and so he's not really sure what to think about issues like Fraud Wrangler, who is in jail for a reason. He's not in jail for the reason he should be in. My nose itches. Okay. Rambling. So yeah, from what I know, yeah, I've already said it a couple times. Yeah, on this issue, I'm rooting for January specific. No, I don't want harm to come to for public safety, but I don't believe GS would bring harm to for public safety or Tiffany or whatever children are in their lives. Yeah, he talked about going to a public sidewalk near your house. So what? Yeah, he went to a court hearing. So what? A lot of us do these things. I go on many sidewalks. And by the way, the angry victim, Tav, as he likes to be called. I didn't just recently start doing camera work on the streets. Look on the main channel, look on Finkel, and on videos, sort by view count, or popularity, or however that sort is. And look at my most popular, my most watched video. It's kind of long and dry until it gets to the police interaction. But look at the timestamp on that. I recently went to, Tav. Now, I get it. You probably didn't know what you were saying when you said it. You probably look at Shadow Finkel and looked at its history. And yeah, some of those videos are a lot more recent. Anyway, yeah. It's 6:35 a.m. Eastern time. And I don't know what time courts are. I don't know what time I'll be able to watch YouTube. But I'm really hoping I see either the GS won his day in court, or if he loses, I see a logical reason as to why he lost. And at this point, at 6:36 a.m. on Monday the 22nd, I don't see any reason why he would rightfully lose his day in court, or days in court. As I understand it, there's more than one. And come on, Chris. Either charging him or alleging that he's been charged with violating these protection orders. It's very clear he tried very hard, maybe overcautious, avoiding disrespecting the orders. I don't know if that's real that he got charged with that or not. I know either Chris or someone sock puppeting Chris apparently is going around telling people he's been charged with violating the order. Like, what the fuck? Either A, there's more information than I'm aware of, or B, bullshit. Now there's B1 and B2. B1 bullshit is that it happened, or B2 bullshit is that it happened with some bad information. But the A is maybe there's information I'm not aware of, which is quite possible. I'm currently in Maryland. I live and work in Virginia, and I'm on my way to New York by way of Pennsylvania. There may be more information out there that I just don't see on YouTube. So that's possible. Anyway, on the issues between Freight Wrangler and Ford Public Safety, I'm rooting for Ford Public Safety. On the issues of J.J. Scarborough versus Ford Public Safety, I'm rooting for Ford Public Safety. On the issue of Ray Whitehead and his sister, by the way, Whitehead is a type of pussy pimple with a white top. The white part is pus, spelled similarly to puss. On that issue, I'm rooting for public safety. On the issue of these, what appear to be bullshit-based protection orders, I'm rooting for Generally Specific. Different issues, I get it. A lot of the same origins. I don't know, anybody who's watching this probably knows Freight Wrangler killed a man. Freight Wrangler killed a veteran, an honorably discharged veteran, a hero with struggles in his life with pain and depression. He did it during Christmas. He did it for things like a PlayStation, a Pew Pew, some prescription drugs, and he got away with it. At least for now, for many years. Now there's a difference between a mop with a hole where there should be a mouth, claiming that the rabbit killed somebody, and used tarot cards and astrological signs to prove it. There's a difference between that allegation and the allegation that Fraudit Wrangler killed somebody. There are court documents and receipts and reasons as to why, on a technicality, the court proceedings failed. Really fucking stupid prosecutor. Was he stupid, or did he intentionally fuck it up? I don't know. It's a technicality, but any fair-minded jury, seeing the evidence, I believe would convict Michael William Kaiser of murdering Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. You should be dancing. That's the Bee Gees. I don't know the copyright on that either. I don't believe any jury in the right mind would convict the rabbit of what the mop people, whatever his name is, says, or the mop's handle, the stick up his ass is BSBT, or that angry man, Sean Porter, or that pizza girl, or there's a whole clusterfuck of them. Their evidence is the stars, rumor, conjecture. The evidence against Kaiser is real, receivable, documented evidence. So when you go around saying this person killed that person, please use an objective approach. Because people who didn't know now are afraid of being with or trusting the rabbit. And I see no reason to fear him or be afraid of trusting him. Rabbit is, again, a little bit ideologically different than me, but overall a good man, in my opinion, with the limited knowledge I have. Now, when I look at what the mop and the mop handle and all those other characters accuse them of, you gotta remember, when the rabbit discovered the tragedy in his life, he didn't hide it, he called 911. And when somebody in a marriage is gone, and the other partner in that marriage is the only person around when the police come up, the first suspect in the police mind is the spouse. With that top priority suspicion, the evidence before them, Rabbit was not charged. I believe there's a reason for that. Because they could see whatever was before them, that he didn't do it. And even after all these accusations and these bullshit calls, to the best of my knowledge, Rabbit's still not charged. That's not the same situation with Fraudit Wrangler and his unaliving of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr., Marine Corps veteran. Thank God Michael William Kaiser is in jail. Unfortunately for other things, but at least he's off the streets and off YouTube influencing people. 6:44 a.m. Did I mention I'm on Highway 15? Did I mention I can't play the Beatles? Did I mention Maria? Oh, Maria from West Side Story. Back from Black. Black or White. Michael Jackson. I'll Do Better. Jared Corbell, I know what that is. Serenade. To Love Somebody, Janis Joplin. Moonlight Sonata, hey. Now, once, not too long ago, GS did a public prayer for me. And yeah, he added a little humor to that. But I believe the prayer was sincere and in the format of how GS prayed. And I appreciated that. And I'll return the favor at 6:45 Eastern on September 22nd. And I hope you all can pray with me, because this is how recovering alcoholics and Unitarians pray. At least when they're driving. I really should pull over and do this. Maybe place your hands in your lap, or if you're driving on the steering wheel. Take a deep breath, let it out. My Creator, I'm willing that you should have all of me, both good and bad. I pray that you do with me what is your will. And I pray that your will be done today and any day. Specifically, on the issue before the court for public safety and generally specific. You know their real names. You know who I'm talking about. I pray that your will and justice be done. I know that most of us here on the planet don't know all the details. So we really don't pray specifically for either person to win or lose, although some people probably are praying for that. But because we don't know your will, and we don't know all of the facts, we should pray as I am now, that your will and your judgment, based on the facts you know all, that be done. And thank you, Lord, for delivering me to Pennsylvania, that Freedom Ring. I just crossed the Pennsylvania border. And for those who are praying along with me, in whatever format that person chooses. A lot will say, in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Some will just say, let your will, not mine, be done. But at this point, I will say, amen. All right, end of prayer. I could do a lot better if I pulled over. In fact, off camera, I will do a lot better when I pull over. Because, yeah, I get it. There are things we don't know. Now, my judgment, not God's will, based on the limited facts I have on this court date, I'm rooting for GS. On other court dates dealing with Meade County, I'm rooting for public safety. But also on those issues, I hope, I pray. Now, GS, if this gets to you in time, 6:49 a.m., Chris, all right. This goes for you too. Only, more importantly for GS, not because I'm taking a side on this issue, but because, right or wrong, you're very seasoned with facing court. GS has never had more than a traffic ticket as far as we know, never had an Article 15, never had a court-martial, never had a divorce, never had a custody battle. To the best of my knowledge, this is the first time GS is going to a court of law for himself. Not as a witness, not as an observer, but his name is on the record before the court. If this works for you too, Chris, I suggest both of you, before or after whatever prayers you pray, hopefully before court, I'm going to do more explaining of it than practicing it, because I'm doing 57 miles per hour on Highway 15 northbound in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where there are some crazy drivers. I'm going to more talk through it than practice it. Find a comfortable place to sit. Make sure you're in a safe place. Set some kind of alarm or timer for 10 or 15 minutes. Have your back straight, so that as if your head was in a fixed location, your spine would be straight down until the point where it reaches whatever you're sitting on. Chair, sofa, car seat. If it's a car seat, I hope you're not driving. Straighten the spine. Both feet firmly, flatly on the ground or floor before you. And your hands resting easily, palm facing up. And breathe in slowly. Think of the number 1 as you're breathing in slowly. 1. Don't hold it too long, but breathe out slowly. And think of the number 2 as you breathe out slowly. Like this. 1, 2. And then repeat, but think of the number 3. 1, 2, 3. Repeat until you get to the number 10. Once you get to the number 10, start back at 1. Like this. 9, 10. 1, 2. 1 through 10, in and out. Align your breath, your slow, steady breath. Odd numbers in, even numbers out. And when you get to 10, repeat. And no, you're not going to float off the chair. No, you're not going to be completely disassociated with the environment around you. Cars beeping, people talking, a fly landing on you. You're not going to hit some sort of metaphysical world. You're just going to breathe in, 1, breathe out, 2, and focus on the number and the breath. Because the environment around you is still there, is still present, something may distract you, or it may be a thought. 3, Baltimore Street, exit, 1.5 miles. Oh, wait. Something distracted you. 65 miles an hour. I'm doing 57. It's okay to be distracted, but when it's distracted, go back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Another distraction. 5. I wonder if Mom's going to have lunch ready for me when I get there. Oh shit, I got distracted again. No problem. Start over again. 1, 2. And just keep repeating. Distraction, start over again. And do that until your timer goes off. You'll find yourself more relaxed and your mind more cleared from the fear, the worry, the anxiety of the court that you're about to face. And yeah, both parties should do this. This is old school, old hat for Chris. He's been to all kinds of courts for all kinds of reasons. And to the best of my knowledge, this is GS's first court. But let me tell you, it's nerve-wracking. Whether you feel righteous, whether or not you believe God is on your side, whether or not you believe you're right, it is anxiety causing, especially if it's your first, or even if it's your second. No, I've never been to criminal court outside of traffic court. Been to a few of those. Received speeding tickets, running a red light, allegedly. Custody 1, custody 2, divorce. Let's see. Oh, driving with an expired license. In my defense, I didn't know my license was expired. The date on my license was good. I've been to court not as many times as Chris, and never for criminal court, never for a court that's deciding, are you going to maintain your constitutional rights or not? Never been to that. And I imagine, even today, I was going to that kind of court, even though I've faced judges and lawyers before. I would be anxious. So do that meditation, or if you know a different kind of meditation, do the meditation. Separating the meditation from your prayer, in my opinion. Meditation clears the mind, eases the anxiety, lowers stress. And GS and Chris, you guys share something in common with me. You can be peaceful. You can be at ease. But when those gators start biting at your ankles, at my ankles, yeah, I won't speak to you, I'll speak to me, and I think you can relate. All is right in the world. I'm on vacation. Traffic's good. It's a decent day. All is at peace. I turn on the news. Something's being reported that I don't like. That motherfucker cut me off. The gators are biting. Things are trying to pull my emotional sobriety or spiritual condition down. At some point, I crossed that line, and now I'm angry. And when I'm angry, clarity of thought loses. I'm not seeing clearly. I'm angry. Stupidity of stuff that comes out of my mouth increases. Ability to listen and see and accurately observe what's going on around me decreases. So now I'm yelling and screaming stupid shit, and I just saw a sign for York Street or Highway 30. I might think that's a new street, Highway 29. I might see that exit sign as enter. I'm not observing things accurately because I'm angry. The meditation will help reduce that. I find the breathing meditation usually through my nose when I'm at the dentist. Oh, I hate the dentist. It's calming. The dentist is agitating. And I gotta pee. It's 6:59 a.m. Highway 15 north, mile marker 122. Speed limit 65. Let's go on cruise control again. I thought I was on cruise control. I must have mindlessly turned it off. Harrisburg, 34 miles. I guess pretty soon I should go back to the ways. Yeah, I'm going to find a place to pee and see if I can upload this. I really hope Chris and GS see this before their hearing and have time to practice the meditation and the prayer. And I hope others who are watching with an audience eye and are rooting for one side or the other, I hope they do a prayer similar, asking for God's will and justice. Not necessarily for or against GS, or for or against for public safety, but for righteousness and God's will, or for the universe's will, the right thing. So I'm going to push stop. I'm going to see if I can load this bitch. Cheerio.